si ni Ace, laki kasi.
Good morning, Malacan Press Corps. Happy Monday. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. First, I'd like to acknowledge receipt of expressions of sympathies, condolences, and support from many countries of the world in relation to the tragic bombing that caused the lives and injuries to many people, particularly those that I have read from Australia, Canada, and Ambassador Daniel Price of the Great Britain. And I would like to express our thanks also to our Pope, expressing also his sympathy to us. And I'd like to congratulate another laurel to the Philippines, Miss Galman, Karen Galman, for winning the Miss Intercontinental. I'm ready for your questions, ladies and gentlemen.
MPC.
Yes, Pia.
Sir, ano yung reaction ni President Duterte dun sa pagsabog sa Holosulu and ano po yung mga directives niya?
Well, of course, he was so angry, for one. For another, he is so disappointed that despite the movement to tread the path towards peace and development, there are still certain forces in that region who will sow terror and kill and murder people. He has issued directive to the Armed Forces of the Philippines to secure the safety of the citizenry and to attend to the injured and to provide succor to the families of the victims. He will be going there, I understand, 2 p.m. today. Noon to 2 p.m. Between noon and 2 p.m.
So aside from inspecting the blast site, ano po ang plano gawin ni President Duterte doon?
Well, he has already ordered the AFP to undertake measures so that this incident will not happen again.
May mga initial suspicions po ba si President Duterte? Does he feel that this has anything to do with the BOL?
No, he will wait for the investigation. Of course, one Islamic State is claiming responsibility, but I read it in one of the briefers that one terrorist group is claiming responsibility for that. But we have to wait for the investigation. Who's behind it? And what group or individuals?
Sir, itong pagsabog na to happened during martial law in Mindanao. What does it say about the effectivity of martial law in Mindanao?
Well, they're saying that martial law, despite martial law, there has been bombing and therefore martial law should be lifted. With more reason, martial law should be in place because if you can do that under a martial law regime, then the more reason you should maintain it and be more strict in the implementation of security measures in that area.
The palace still thinks that martial law is still effective in Mindanao. Sir.
It's effective, but this incident is isolated, by the way. So we'll have to investigate how it happened. There may be some lapses in security, how they were able to put there, is that a motorcycle with a bomb, despite the fact that there were soldiers securing the place.
Ganun din po ba yung tingin ni President Duterte that there were lapses in security?
Well, there is no other conclusion to reach if you have security there, and there is one or two bombs being placed inside, then there must be a lapse in security. There's no other reasonable conclusion.
Last na lang, sir, yung sa timing din, sir, ng pagbomba. Bukas kasi, sir, oral arguments na ng martial law. Considering the timing, do you think that this has anything to do with it?
Now, as I said, we have to wait for the investigation. We can only speculate, and there have been many speculations. We'd rather not.
Thank you, sir.
Follow-up, Joseph.
So you mentioned that there's no other conclusion but to say that there was a lapse in security. So therefore,
Then you should be more strict in your security measure. Like that motorcycle, if you inspected that motorcycle before it got into that area, then there would have been no bombing.
any accountability on our security forces, sir?
Come again?
Should there be any accountability on our security forces?
Let's see, we'll have to investigate. Mine is just a reasonable conclusion derived from the circumstances surrounding the bombing.
Sir, additional to the martial law point, no? In December, the president transferred a whole division of soldiers to Holo, remember?
Yes.
He activated the 11th Infantry Division. Why do we still have this bombing if there are forces? There are more forces now in Holo. than
You
used to
know,
be.
just like the president of the United States, with all the security, a president can be assassinated. You cannot certainly stop everything that the enemy will give you. We can only learn from lessons and then introduce more stringent steps to prevent the occurrence of another bombing.
Okay, sir.
Okay, follow-up, Raymond?
Sir, considering that Sulu is a Nurmiswari country, so you do not believe that the MNLF or the group of Nurmiswari is not involved in this attack?
As I said, we cannot enter into the realm of speculation. It would be unfair and not good to be speculating. I know that Nur Mizwari wants federalism better than BOL, but he didn't oppose it actively. In fact, he was non-committal with respect to the plebiscite.
Is there any plan for the president to talk with Nurmiswari after this incident to clarify things and to move on with the supposed plan of the president to negotiate with his group?
He has said so himself. Remember, he wanted to talk with the chairman of the MNLF.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, may follow-up? Other issue. Alvin.
Sir, nabanggit po ba ni Presidente kung ikino-consider niyang maglabas ng reward money for the immediate solution ng kaso?
I didn't hear about that. I'll check with him.
Thank you, sir.
Questions, MPC? Other issue? Other issue. Raymond. Ace. Joseph.
Ina, you're so quiet the last two briefings. Apart from morning. Ace,
Ace.
you're in red.
Secretary, we got documents showing that the president reappointed Yusek Maglunsod,
Who's he?
Joel Maglunsod,
Who's he ba?
former labor undersecretary that the president fired.
He has reappointed to where?
Uh,
The same post?
some unit under the DOLE, the Executive Director 3, National Maritime Polytechnic. Dole pa rin naman, pero ibang unit. Tapos executive director na hindi na USEC.
Is that document?
Joel Bukad Maglunsod. Document from
Is that
from your
document spurious?
galing sa inyo eh.
Authentic?
Galing sa inyo eh.
Sa amin? Which sa amin? In my office or OP?
Yes.
OP?
Binigay sa inyo. Oo.
OP?
Should we start doubting those documents now?
Galing po sa inyo.
Now we'll check. We'll check
Hindi,
why. Because the next question is why did he?
yes,
why was he
definitely.
why? Then I'll check with the president.
Kasi 'di ba, parang recently inaway din niya 'to eh. Parang binanata niya sa speech niya dati 'to, 'di ba?
Sige, I'll check with him.
Okay, thank you, Sec.
Okay, may follow-up ba? Or Joseph and then Joyce? Okay.
Sir, si former BOC Chief Isidro La Peña was charged by NBI sa DOJ ng graft and admin charges. Is he still enjoying the trust and confidence of the President?
Yes, yes. He remains constitutionally presumed to be innocent.
Why is the President trusting too much kay La Peña despite findings ng mismong agencies ng government na he could be liable probably for graft and
Because
other
he
charges?
knows him personally, he has worked with him, and he trusts him.
So with that, sir, is the President confident that these charges will be dropped?
It's for the courts to decide whether the charges are substantiated by proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
But are you confident, sir, na eventually he will be absolved of these charges, given that the
Well, as
President
far as the
believes?
president is concerned, he trusts him. But if the evidence prove otherwise, then it would be a different story.
So wala naman, sir, any plan si President to remove him from his current post? He still believes that he is still competent to hold
None
a
that I
position?
know of.
Okay. May follow-up or Joseph na?
So you were able to talk to the president, no, about the whole law bombing?
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully today.
Okay. But you said that the president was angry.
Oh yeah, because somebody told me
Huh?
he
Naman,
talked
sir.
to him. And,
Huh?
you know, you don't even have to ask why he's angry. Everybody is angry now for that bombing.
You know, maybe a stronger term than angry, maybe ballistic.
What do you want?
I mean, but you didn't talk to
He's
him.
outraged.
Not yet. Outrage. Sige, sir.
MPC RJ?
Sir, how are we supposed to judge whether martial law in Mindanao is effective or not?
The fact alone that there is only one incident of bombing for the last 1 year plus, that means martial law is effective. Can you imagine how many bombings there would have been if there was no martial law there in operation?
Just this month, sir, it's not just one.
What? 1 or 2?
Yeah.
That's little considering the.
That's little. That's little, sir. Two bombings in 1 month. That's little to you.
No, that's still, to my mind, if there was no martial law there, then there would have been chaos and anarchy there. You see how they were able to get Marawi, but there was no martial law then.
So you're saying the palace is not disappointed with how the AFP is handling martial law or enforcing martial law
No.
in Mindanao?
But there should be some investigation as how it happened so that preventive measures can be undertaken.
Pia? Question? Raymond.
Sir, today nag-start na yung bicameral conference committee deliberations. So what are your prospects? Saka willing ba kayo yung, kasi ang problema na lamang yung 75 billion alleged insertions. So willing ba kayo na i-scrap na lang yun para may pasa na rin yung 2019 budget, if ever?
I don't think that was scrapped. From what I gathered from Senator Lacson, that was redistributed to certain departments. So it's still there.
So pinaghati-hatian na lang yung
Well,
2075.
that's the job of the Congress, to review, to amend, to restructure, whatever.
So you expect this week, okay na?
I think so.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, may follow-up doon? Oh, other issue, Henry.
Henry.
Secretary, balikan ko lang yung bombing. Well, nag-issue na kayo ng statement. Pero kung may nanonood na mastermind involved sa bombing, as a spokesperson of the president, paano nyo sila gustong kausapin? Straight to their eye. Nanonood sila.
Well, we
halimbawa.
already said the law will not give them mercy. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth until every killer is placed behind bars.
Ano pa yung pinaka?
Ayun na nga, the AFP will crush them.
Yun na yung pinaka matinding gusto nyong sabihin sa kanila.
Yes. And no amount of terrorism can stop the journey to peace and development in that region.
All right.
Questions? Chona?
Sir,
China.
sir, based po sa information na natatanggap ng Malacanang, sino po ba ang behind the bombing? Kasi according to the Philippine National Police, it's the Abu Sayyaf group, while the ISIS is claiming that they are the ones who are responsible for the bombing.
I will repeat what I said. We're still waiting for the investigation. We cannot be indulging in speculation. We will wait for the final submission of the report of those who are investigating the incident.
Questions? Okay, Joseph.
Sir, for soundbite purposes lang for later. Yung message to the families of the victims.
Yes, we condole, we express our sincerest and heartfelt sympathies to the families of the victims. And we will do everything possible to give justice to those who have perished. And all government agencies have been directed to attend to the families. Meanwhile, we will pray for the eternal repose of the souls of those who were killed, even as we attend to the injured.
Questions? RJ.
Sir, how is the intel fund of the government
How is the what?
the intelligence fund of the government being used in relation to monitoring terrorism in the country?
I suppose they're doing it correctly. We'll have to ask the Secretary of National Defense on that.
We did not see this coming.
Come again?
This bombing in Sulu, they did not anticipate this. They did not have any clue that this would happen.
As I said, even in the United States, the most powerful country in the world, where the president is secured, but the president was assassinated, they didn't see it coming. So this happens once in a while.
And okay, thank you.
Even
Ace? May
oh, meron pa
question?
yung isa rin. Subsequent to that, si Reagan.
May mga tanong pa, MPC? Joyce.
Sir, sa interview po sa DZMM, sinabi ni PAO Chief Presido Acosta that DOH Secretary Duque is bribing the MVACSHA victims to drop charges against government officials.
Oh, that's a serious charge. They should substantiate that.
Is the palace going to investigate this issue?
Now, we'll leave it to her to file the appropriate charges if there is such a case.
But hindi po kayo magmomoto proprio investigation against a cabinet member? Accused of bribing.
We'll have to wait. That is just an allegation, so cannot just be poking into every allegation of every person or citizen in this country. If they have evidence against particular public official, then sue them and let due process run its course.
Questions? Wala nang tanong. Joseph? Okay na? No more. Okay, thank you, Presidential
Thank you.
Spokesperson Salvador Panelo. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.